When people think of the holdings in the National Archives, they may not think about food, but there really isn't a topic that touches our lives that isn't here.
My name is Jose Andres and I'm a chef, and happens I'm also the chief culinary advisor to the National Archives. So my favorite part of the exhibition will be the one on exploration.
Frank Enmeyer is one of my favorite discoveries. He was a plant explorer. He traveled to Asia around early 1900s. These trips were wonderfully documented. There's a Russian wheat field, and there's a photograph of a woman in Korea who's preparing soybeans. He brought back thousands and thousands of plants. Perhaps the most famous is the Meyer lemon.
The reason I think is so important that you are in this exhibition at the National Archives is that it's gonna be opening a door for you to understand that the policies that our government implement have a fundamental effect in the way we all live.
I was looking at some files from the Bureau of Chemistry from the late 1800s, and I opened a box, and inside I found these small notebooks, very old, crumbling, and I opened one, and on the very first page, the investigator was writing about a candy, and he said, "This sample of candy requires a very careful examination. After eating of it, one child died and 2 others were taken sick." And it made me realize how these investigators really became crusaders for the pure food and drug laws.
This is the way to assure food for our fighting men.
The government has had both a direct and an indirect effect on the foods that we eat. Margarine was invented in the 1800s in France, and when it reached our shores, the dairy farmers were quite upset. They flooded Congress with these postcards, and Congress created a tax on oleomargarine, making it much more expensive to produce. Of course, this created a market for bootleg margarine, and so we have these wonderful mugshots of men who were caught dealing with black market margarine and served time in federal penitentiaries.
When you leave this exhibit, you will take with you a part of the history that America is all about, and that history has been told through the power of food.
Payday comes, you pay your rent. End of the week, you ain't got a cent to buy fatback meat, pinto beans, cook up a mess of turnip greens.